My fiancée planned our entire wedding without me. AITA, I'm a 28-year-old guy, engaged to my 27-year-old fiancée. We've been together for a little over 3 years and living together for almost 2. When I proposed last year, we agreed that the wedding would be a joint effort. We both said we wanted to plan it together so it would feel like our day, not just hers or mine. That agreement was important to me, because I always imagined the planning process as something that would bring us closer. Last month I came home from work, tired and ready to just relax. She was waiting for me at the door, smiling like she had just won the lottery. She told me she had a surprise and I should sit down. I honestly thought maybe she had cooked something fancy or gotten us tickets to a concert we had talked about. Instead, she sat across from me, held my hands, and proudly announced, "The wedding is done. Everything is booked, planned, and paid for. You don't need to worry about a single thing. All you have to do is show up in your suit." At first I laughed because I thought she was joking, but she looked at me so seriously and started pulling out paperwork, receipts, and photos of the venue. That's when it hit me. She wasn't joking. She had literally gone behind my back and planned the entire wedding. Venue, catering, photographer, DJ, decorations, guest list, everything. I sat there stunned. I asked her, "Wait, you mean everything is already decided, without asking me at all?" She just smiled and said, "Yes, isn't it great? I know you hate stress, and I wanted this to be my gift to you. You don't need to deal with planning headaches. It's all perfect." But the more she explained, the worse I felt. She had invited over 200 people, almost all of them her relatives and friends. On my side, just my parents, my sister, and a cousin I barely talked to. I wasn't even asked who I wanted there. The venue was a luxury banquet hall that I had specifically told her I didn't like. The food is overpriced, the atmosphere feels cold, and it's honestly not my style at all. I had once mentioned that I'd prefer something more intimate, maybe outdoors, but she ignored all that and picked this place anyway. Then came the menu. Practically all seafood: lobster, shrimp, crab, salmon, oysters. I despise seafood. I've told her this so many times. I'm not allergic, but I can't stand the taste or smell of it. She knows this, yet she picked a menu where the only non-seafood options were tiny side dishes. And then the biggest gut punch, she paid for all of this using our joint savings. We'd been saving together for years, not just for the wedding, but also for a down payment on a house. I thought we were on the same page about being responsible with money. But she spent nearly half of those savings without even telling me. Tens of thousands of dollars, gone. And I only found out after the fact, when it was already too late to cancel most of it without losing huge deposits. I asked her, "Why would you make such big decisions without even asking me?" Her response: "Because you're indecisive. You would have dragged things out and stressed us both." I knew what I wanted, so I did it. You should be grateful. Most men would love a fiancé who took care of everything. That made me furious. I told her, "This isn't a gift. This is you controlling everything and leaving me out of my own wedding. You took our money, ignored my opinions, and made me a guest at something that's supposed to be about both of us." She rolled her eyes and kept saying I was overreacting. She insisted she did this for us, that I should be relieved, not angry. We argued for hours. At one point she even said, "If you love me, you'd just go along with it. Why do you have to make everything difficult?" By the end of the night, I was so upset that I asked her to go stay with her sister for a few days. The backlash started almost immediately. Her parents called me the next morning furious. They said I had humiliated their daughter, that she worked so hard to plan the perfect wedding, and I should be thankful. Her mom said, "Every girl dreams of her wedding. Stop ruining it for her." Some of our mutual friends also chimed in. A couple of them told me most grooms don't care about wedding details anyway, so I should just let her have this. One even said, "You sound ungrateful. She just wanted to make things easier for you." But my family sees things differently. My parents and sister think she massively overstepped. My dad said, "Marriage is about partnership. If she can't even include you in planning the wedding, what happens when it comes to buying a house, raising kids, or making life decisions?" And honestly, that's exactly what's been running through my head. I feel completely blindsided. This wasn't just about a wedding. It was about trust, communication, and respect. If she was willing to make a decision this huge behind my back, what else would she be willing to do in the future? I keep asking myself if this is a red flag I can't ignore. We've tried talking again since then, but it always turns into the same argument. She cries and says she just wanted to make me happy, that she did this because she knew better. I try to explain that what she did wasn't loving, it was manipulative and controlling. She doesn't get it. She just keeps saying I should focus on how much effort she put in. At one point, she told me, "You're making me look bad in front of everyone. My friends and family think you're cruel. Don't you see how much pressure you're putting me under?" And I responded, "You put this pressure on yourself by cutting me out of the process. You created this mess. I know some people genuinely don't care about weddings, and maybe those people would be happy to let their partner do all the work. But that wasn't our agreement. She promised we'd plan together. She promised this would be our day. And then she completely betrayed that promise. Right now, I don't even know if the wedding is happening anymore. I can't imagine standing up in front of people, pretending everything is fine, when I feel like she already made me irrelevant in the whole process. I've been getting pressure from her side nonstop. Her mom keeps texting me things like, "Do the right thing, stop being selfish, just marry her already." Her dad says I'm ruining the family's reputation by dragging this out. Even a couple of my own friends told me to just suck it up and go through with it. But deep down, I can't shake the feeling that this isn't just about a wedding. It's about control. It's about trust. If she was capable of doing all this behind my back, spending our money, ignoring my feelings, and then guilt-tripping me when I push back, what does that say about our future? I wanted a marriage built on teamwork. What I got instead feels like a preview of a life where I have no say, where she makes the rules and I'm just expected to follow. So, Reddit, I need to know. Am I the asshole for refusing to go along with this surprise wedding? Am I being dramatic and ungrateful, like everyone keeps saying? Or is this a giant red flag that I'd be a fool to ignore? Update 1. So a lot has happened since I first posted. After our fight, my fiancée came back from staying with her sister and tried to smooth things over. She said she regretted not involving me, but still insisted she did it for us. She begged me to at least go see the venue with her before making a final decision. I agreed, mostly because I wanted to be fair and not just shut her down. We went together, and honestly, the experience just made me feel worse. She walked around showing me everything like a tour guide, the chandeliers, the stage, the seafood buffet. She looked so proud, but it felt like I was just a guest being shown something that was already set in stone. When I pointed out the things I didn't like, she brushed them off, saying, "It's too late to change that now, you'll just have to deal with it." That was the breaking point for me. I told her I can't marry someone who refuses to see me as an equal partner. I gave her back the engagement ring and said we need to step back completely. She broke down crying, accused me of throwing everything away, and ran to her parents. Since then, her family has been flooding me with calls, telling me I'm destroying her life. Right now, I'm staying with my sister. I haven't canceled the wedding contracts yet because part of me still feels guilty about the money. But deep down, I know this isn't just about a wedding anymore. It's about trust and respect, and both of those feel broken beyond repair. So yeah, I don't know if there's even a relationship left to save,